Hi, I'm Braden with EG4 Electronics. On a chilly Texas day in the EG4 warehouse, we are going to be unboxing the new indoor 280 amp hour wall mount battery. This is a 48 volt battery with a 14.3 kilowatt hour capacity, similar specs to our outdoor variant, but with a new redesigned shell casing to make it much more intuitive and useful for the indoor setting. So let's go ahead and get started here. Alrighty, here we go. So this comes individually palletized in these crates, which are very well protected for good safety and travel, but also it's a little difficult to get open, but we're greeted with some foam. Let's go ahead and take this off. Alrighty. Here we are. We've got a quick start guide to start out. Also has a QR code for more documentation and the latest stuff as well. Go ahead and set that to the side. Inside we have the battery itself. We have a QC report with product approval. Let's see. We have, this is a communication cable. I believe it is straight through because the CAN communication protocols on this are straight through with the EG4 products. We also have some mounting bolts here. Go ahead and set this to the side. We have our positive connectors for the quick connects for weatherproof, but they're also really useful. Even on the indoor battery, we opted to keep them with the new redesign because they're so nice and easy to use. So these are the positive. They are, we have two cables here, and they are, let's see, they're 2-aught with the stripped caps here to go straight into the mechanical lugs on, say, the 18 kPV. Alrighty, let's keep going here. On the other side, we have our, I believe this is the X bracket. That's what it looks like. This is a bracket made to easily fit with the 18 kPV, as well as kind of give you that templating for where the battery should go and kind of where your inverter will fit. So we have that. Go ahead and set that to the side, and I believe we also have here, yes, the two negative quick connect batteries. These are also 2-aught and stripped the same way. Let's see if we have some other stuff here. Looks like we got all of that. Now, we also have a rope here, and we'll get some close-up shots here, but we have a rope to make it easier to pull the battery out of the crate. You can also just, demolish the sides of it, and that's usually the easiest way to go about it. But we have ropes on either side, so that way you can two-man lift the battery out of the crate if you'd like to keep the crate intact. And yeah, so we're gonna get some close-up shots of the battery here. So here are all the items that are contained in the indoor wall mount batteries casing. We have our cables, of course, our battery comms, the mounting, as well as the X bracket, and then our quick start guide. We're gonna go ahead and transition over to a demonstration at our R&D lab and give you a demonstration of the 200 amp hour BMS. Alrighty, we're back here in the R&D department for EG4 Electronics. We are looking at the indoor battery connected to the 18 kPV. Now, along the top of the battery, we have the 4 ports for positive and negative each. So you have 2 for your inverter, and then you have 2 each for paralleling batteries together. This has an internal 600 amp bus bar, so you can actually daisy chain the batteries together directly. There's also battery comms ports, so that way you can get that closed loop communication, and then with CAN and RS-45 to connect to whatever inverter you like to use. On the side here as well, we have a breaker, so we can actually turn that off and it will turn the ports for connecting the inverter off. That way you don't have any power going between those. It's a good safety feature. And then of course our switch here to turn the battery on and off. Let's take a closer look at the screen now. So on the screen of the battery, we still have the nice demonstration of the state of charge, but there's also some additional features to kind of improve the quality of life, where you have not just the standby or charging, discharging, but you actually have the dip switch address here with the waypoint marker, so you can know if your battery has properly adjusted to whatever setting you put it on. Then you also have the CAN and RS485 port protocols that you're on, so you know whichever your inverter is communicating to. That way there's no confusion there. Then of course you have your voltage, the total amp hours of the battery, and then the amperage that's coming and going. Now, it is full touchscreen on the settings part. You can go in here, go to CAN. Default password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you press the little check mark. And you can go in here and select the protocol. You still need to go to address 0 in order to change your protocol, but we're currently defaulted to EG4, which is, of course, the protocol that we use for our systems. You can change to RS485 as well. You can also go into language and switch it to Spanish if you so desire. So that's a nice feature too. Just kind of helps improve the QOL for our Spanish users. There's, of course, version, temperature, and voltage as well, similar to our other batteries. So we're going to go ahead and set up the discharge and charge demonstration here. You'll see right here where the amperage will change. Let me go ahead and go up and do that. Alright, you see here we're pulling that 200 amps from the battery. Inverter's ramping up there a bit with the fans to keep itself cool. So we're able to sit there and push that out for, ad infinitum until the capacity of the battery is out. So we're just going to sit here for a minute and kind of show that. It is also able to exceed that 200 amp discharge for brief periods of time. The exact amperage specs are listed on the spec sheet if you'd like to check that out. That's useful for things like, short time surges and the like. I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to charging now. Alrighty, I had to discharge the battery just a bit more so that way I can actually activate the AC charge. So now we got the charging going on and we're up at about 200 amps, and it could say here and charge at 200 amps when you have your PV coming in or from the grid, either way. And it also has some overcharge limits as well for 30 seconds, 5 seconds. Those specifications are also in the spec sheet. So yeah, you could sit there and charge 200 amps and it would take you just a bit over about an hour and 20 minutes with the full capacity of the battery. The indoor wall mount battery is equipped with a plethora of features to enhance the user experience, whether it be service and maintenance, installation, or just the sheer performance of the battery. It has built-in fire arresters for added fire safety. It has a built-in heater so that your battery can stay operational in cold climates, as well as adjustable feet for uneven planes.